Evening, welcome to the Borough PEAPACK Gladstone's meeting. I'm opening up tonight's meeting. Meeting's called to order. Please read the sunshine notice.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of the 2022 meeting dates was published in the Courier News and Burnsville News on December 9th, 2021, and posted at the Municipal Complex in the Borough Library. Action may be taken.
Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Councilman Caminetti?
Here.
Council President Corliano?
Here.
Councilwoman Dietrich? Here. Councilman Lemma?
Here.
Councilwoman Murphy? Here. Councilman Sweeney?
Here.
Mayor Skinner?
I am here. Okay, thank you. Public comments, 5 minutes per person, non-agenda items. It's the policy of the Borough Council that all public comments on an issue shall be limited to 5 minutes per person. Comments may be made on any non-agenda subject pertaining to borough issues. Comments pertaining to public hearings should be saved for that section of the agenda. There'll be no debating between residents. Comments should be addressed to the mayor and council at the public microphone. When you do step up, if you do, I need your name and address. Anybody for non-agenda item comments? Okay. It's a lot easier now that I can see you walk up instead of like waiting for the...
Yeah, I was waiting for the phone to go off.
Yes.
Andrew Fitzmerrick, 5 Brook Street, here on behalf of Jennifer St. Ledger. She had sent out an email regarding flood mitigation on March 1st. I'm just looking for an update.
I'm the municipal attorney, sir. I will be responding. I have some input from the borough administrator, also from Councilman Caminiti, so I'm putting together a response. Your mom should have that this week.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, closing the public comment, non-agenda items, moving to old business. Nancy, do you want to bring up the...
Yes.
Yeah.
I know at the last meeting, it was asked that we do a remote login so that people can log in. There is a few things, and one of the things that's being caused tonight that I cannot do, we need to upgrade the bandwidth in the room so that everybody can log on, and we can still upload and run a GoToMeeting also, or anything else. So that I've been in touch with Comcast, working on getting it. Looks like it's going to be anywhere between $50 and $70 a month increase on that for here.
Is that room specific or building wide?
Well, it's building wise.
Okay.
But they, I've talked to an AV company about getting a standalone, instead of doing a GoToMeeting, to do some type of standalone camera that will work, which would be like a GoToMeeting, but it would be different than where everybody would be able to also see. And they're saying to get an access point, which would be specific for in this room. I'm still waiting on him to give me some more quotes on what that would cost and what would do. We will have to have somebody that will have to monitor the laptop during the meeting, which could be anywhere, and it would be somebody that would be paid overtime, so that would be a cost also on top of this.
Yeah, I actually gave a thought about that. I mean, we'd really only be concerned about people raising their hands at 2 portions of the meeting, and I don't know why we couldn't just monitor. Each one of us take turns monitoring and just saying, we have, during public comment, I see somebody here. I'm not sure that we would need to bring somebody in.
Well, I think we had also discussed that the remote, it would be a one-way stream where we would not accept public comments remotely and only in person, but are we changing that decision?
Well, when I raised the issue at the last meeting with regards to the art grant, which this is what would be tying into, and I know Amy's been looking at the specifics of the grant. I mean, my thought would be that we, like the article in the newspaper today about Bedminster being one of 4 towns in the county that has the hybrid meeting, right, where people can comment. That we would go down that road. I like seeing people in the audience, more than anyone. But I do understand that for whatever reason, people can't get here.
Okay, thank you.
I,
So we have to get our bandwidth raised first
we have
before
to,
we can do
yes,
anything.
yes,
So-
there's some steps that have to be taken before we can get to that point of being able to do this. As you saw tonight, I mean, yes, we're having internet problems anyway, but the last time that we did have the meeting with everybody going into their emails and everything else, everybody logging onto the internet, we had problems where we couldn't upload the YouTube to get onto, to there, we were having problems,
Can't we
so.
put this on our list, because we're trying again to get a meeting with our franchise? Can't we put this on our list of things to talk about when they get back to us in another 6 months with the meeting date?
We did try to get the free service free from them, and they said, no, we don't do that. They say no to
Well, we're
everything.
not saying free.
They say no to
We're just-
everything.
We're talking about just upgrading it for the same price.
I think what we need to evaluate, I wish to respect Nancy's time. She's very busy. She's dealing with a lot of different issues. Before we move forward on this initiative, the way I'm seeing it is there's a bandwidth upgrade needed, which we might or might not need if we were to go two-way meetings. In addition, you need to have an employee here doing it. So we're looking at a cost of $200-300 a meeting in order to give our residents the option of talking remotely instead of being here present. Now, I'm all for what we do right now. I know it's not working tonight because of an exception, but I like the fact that we're broadcasting on YouTube and people can connect to YouTube and watch it. But before we really go down this road, are we really prepared to spend the thousands of dollars every year to enable people to speak to us remotely?
Mark, I disagree that we need to have an employee here for that, because we're talking right now, and I'm not looking at the audience to see whether anybody's raising their hand. And, with Zoom, if we're in a public comment, we just, one of us, take a turn at being the monitor.
So
I don't think it's all that big a deal.
Yeah, I don't know about that, John. We're all managing our own data here. We're all looking at documents. Now we have to have a second laptop where we have to interact with somebody who's raising their hand and try to make sure we capture them. I don't think that's a responsibility that we should take. We should be focused on the meeting. I do think if we're going to offer it, we need to do it right, and you do need to have someone doing that. I know it sounds easy, and yes, theoretically it would be easy, but in practice it might be a little harder.
I can talk to Robin over in Bedminster and find out how they're doing. I have talked to her before about it, and she is monitoring it also, but she says it's a little time, but maybe it's gotten better over time for her
Maybe.
doing it. And
I'm
I
open to
will
that.
look at.
Nancy, you may want to also do this in steps. So you order the backbone, upgrade to like a gigabit connection, which is only about $90. The business may be a little bit different. You replace the access point, the router, almost no cost at all. And then throw in the camera, and now you're broadcasting the meetings. And then once we get comfortable with
Well,
that.
we are broadcasting, and once we get those updated, we are broadcasting it on YouTube once I get to that point.
Yeah.
This is simply a matter of two-way, correct? That's what we're all talking
So it
about.
could be iterative. Let's stay one step.
I mean, there are other things, we can have phones and stuff, but I've talked to our company that does the recording system. They say the phones are very expensive to be able to have them. You have to still have somebody there to monitor the phones, because it's only on a phone, so you have to be able to monitor. It's a Polycom system, which is an expensive system to install, they're telling me. They didn't give me any quotes on that, but they are saying that it's an expensive system to.
But it sounds like we have to upgrade our bandwidth, right?
Yes,
I mean,
that we definitely have to do, and that
just
I'm
to
in the
get
process
into
of working on doing that.
2022.
Yes.
And once we have the numbers together, we can figure out, if it's financially feasible. I know there is a lot of COVID money, COVID relief money that's specifically earmarked for this, because we don't know what could happen again in another 3 weeks. And we shut down and everyone's remote. So you can't have government operating in a vacuum, and they're willing to put money into it. I know that in other municipalities here in Somerset County, that it's a non-issue. The COVID money, which is there, can absolutely be dedicated to this.
And
So-
potentially grant money.
But
Yeah.
I was thinking the grant money first, but the COVID money could certainly be a match.
All right,
But
so,
right now, I don't even know how much we're talking about.
Yeah, that's the point.
Right, and
Let's
that's,
put the numbers together first.
and that's what I'm waiting for this gentleman from this company to get back to me. And he is a council person in Pequannock, this guy who owns this one company that I'm dealing with. So he understands what's what needs to be done and what's doing. They are not, his town in Pequannock is not doing this. They're not having the remote, they just do a YouTube thing, but their council decided not to do that.
Okay,
But he does understand what's going on, so.
super. Anything under old business? New business? Miscellaneous discussions and approvals. Facility usage, Somerset Hills Ball Club, formerly Somerset Hills Little League, for the use of the ball fields from March 28th to June 18th of this year on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. And scheduling will be done through Recreation.
I just have a question about that, formerly Somerset Hills Little League. So what's the difference? Is it now open to more ages, or is it, I'm looking at you, but I didn't.
I'm just reading it.
I know.
No,
It sounds like they moved out of it.
they moved out of the Little League because the Little League has some restrictions as to what the charter, what can and cannot be done with, and I'm getting this from our recreation director.
Okay.
The ball club now, they can play in different tournaments than what the Little League allowed them to play in. So it's a different type, and it is still all the same age groups that they had before,
Yeah.
but it's a different, it's just a different way of them.
And there's not there's not a Somerset Hills Little League that's gonna be coming in with an application as a result.
As far as I know, this is
This
this
is-
Little League
It's the local.
This
is the
this
local, this
baseball
ball club.
for
Yes,
us.
yes. Yes,
And it's just the field here by the municipal building?
yes.
Okay,
It's
so
just
it wouldn't be a
building.
tournament situation?
No.
They would practice? like-
Right, it's their practices, their little games that they have, the younger teams have and that type
Okay.
of stuff. It would be the same thing for us, but these, they can travel to these other tournaments. They
Mhm.
can do the, I guess like Cooperstown
Right.
and that type of stuff.
Okay.
So I'm also interpreting it as we're basically dealing with the same people.
Yes.
That are pretty good stewards of the fields
Yes.
over the years.
Yes, it's the same gentleman that has applied the last almost 5 years that I've been here,
Just under a different organization.
just under a
Yeah,
different
they're pretty-
organization.
They're very fastidious about maintaining the fields. I mean, we just mow.
Right, they're very good.
They've been
They're
And-
good tenants, yeah, and the paperwork looks to be complete too. so.
Yes, and that's why I put that it's the same people, that's why I put
Yeah.
formerly known as.
Okay.
All right, so do we need just concurrence?
Consent,
Do we have
Yeah.
consent?
yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
All, okay, good.
Yes.
That might be the only place they're playing baseball, right? The majors are kind of still, are they
It
still
doesn't
watching
look
it?
good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to reading and approval of minutes, regular meeting minutes of February 22nd. Do I have a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes?
So moved.
Second,
Second,
roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corliano?
yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Moving on to ordinances, introduction of ordinance 1109, 2022, ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and establish a cap bank for the year 2022. So I have a motion to introduce this ordinance.
So moved.
And a second,
Second.
roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, ordinance 1109, 2022 is introduced and shall be published in summary in the Burnelsville News, and that the public hearing for said ordinance shall be held on March 29th, 2022 at 7 PM or shortly thereafter. Moving on to resolutions, I think I can go through these pretty quickly. 5522, resolution authorizing the execution of an agreement between the Borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone and the County of Somerset for use of borough police officers for various county police initiatives. Motion to approve resolution 5522.
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Resolution 5622, authorizing Devin Sweeney to be accepted as a member of the PEAPACK and Gladstone Volunteer Fire Department. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
I should abstain, Jake, but I'm going to say aye because it's my son. I think I'm allowed to on this.
I don't think we'll challenge
We're not,
that.
yeah, we're not gonna challenge
Yeah,
that.
great to have him aboard. I knew he was at the firehouse last week, so.
Yeah.
Resolution 5722, resolution for temporary appropriations for operating purposes. Motion to approve Resolution 5722.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Roll call vote?
Councilman Caminiti,
Yes.
Council President Corliano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich,
Yes.
Councilman Lemma.
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy,
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney.
Aye.
Resolution 5822, resolution authorizing Borough Police Department to participate in Operation Safe Passage, St. Patrick's Day DWI enforcement on March 17th through March 19th, 2022. Motion to approve Resolution 5822.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Councilman Caminiti,
Yes.
Council President Corliano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich,
Yes.
Councilman Lemma.
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy,
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney.
Aye.
Resolution 5922, authorization approving the final list of volunteer members of the PEAPACK and Gladstone Fire Department and PEAPACK and Gladstone First Aid and Rescue Squad who qualify for contributions under the Borough LoSAP program in the Borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone, County of Somerset. Motion to approve Resolution 5922.
So-
Second, please.
I'll second. I think Jamie made the motion.
Anyone?
So I so moved and he seconded.
Okay, roll call vote?
Councilman Caminiti,
Yes.
Council President Corliano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich,
Yes.
Councilman Lemma.
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney.
Aye.
Resolution 6022, resolution accepting the resignation letter from Justin Dietrich, laborer for the Borough, for the Department of Public Works, and authorization to pay vacation time. And this is no relation to our councilwoman. Motion to approve Resolution 60-22.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Councilman Caminiti,
Yes.
Council President Corliano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich,
Yes.
Councilman Lemma.
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy,
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney.
Aye.
Resolution for authorization to accept change order number 4 from B&K Construction for work associated with Liberty Park Improvement Project. Do I have a motion to approve Resolution 6122?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Can we just discuss this one real fast?
Sure.
And I may not be up to date on this. I know that somebody, I think it was Don, you mentioned to me that they didn't do the railings leading up to the gazebo, but they did all the other ones, which look very nice, by the way.
Correct.
And this is now a change order to now paint and cut down the railings leading up to it.
Correct.
So I drove past it this morning, and personally, I don't think it would look nice. You know, you have beautiful railings that they just did all the way around the gazebo, and you're gonna leave the old ugly railings and put a layer of paint on them. Why not put the same railings that they put around the gazebo leading into it so they all match? So I don't understand, I don't agree with this change order.
So we discussed this with Nancy yesterday.
We-
You want to take this one, Nancy?
We discussed this with Carter and Lucinda and the construction company last Friday. Don was there at the meeting with us. And it's basically because Carter feels that he doesn't want to, the aesthetics is more of the gazebo itself and not the railings. There's on the other side of the gazebo, this is on the handicap ramp, and the railings are about 2 inches higher, I'd say, than the sides that were put up around there. So they want to just lower the railings so that it matches where the new sides are put on, so that it's all
The same
even
height.
that way. They're going to sand down all of the wood that is there before they paint it to make it better, and then paint it black, because
The post white. And
the post
back.
white, yes, the post will be
And
white, and to
so-
lower it.
So it's at the same height at the top of the rail.
Yeah, but
At
it
the
still
top of
is,
the ramp.
it still is a different style railing, it doesn't match. You can put as much lipstick on it, it still doesn't look good. Right?
So there were other options, Mark, that we had looked at. One of them was a custom wrought iron rail.
That they're doing on the other side, that have the steps to go into it. This is on the handicap
What
side.
about simply
Custom
buying
sounds
2
really
more
expensive.
sections of the railings
Yeah,
that they
that
used around the gazebo and putting them there?
So that was an option. That option was a little more expensive, but I don't think aesthetically it looked as nice. This is this picture here.
Real quickly, so there's wrought iron on the front by the steps.
Yes,
And then
there
there's
was-
this decorative wood in the middle, and then there's gonna be flat. I mean, it seems like there's way too much
What-
going on.
Thank
What
you.
I
is,
think,
what
Thank
is,
I think
what is
that-
Carter's trying to, Carter wants the beauty of the gazebo to be the gazebo itself, not the walkways going into it.
well, I think wrought iron is gonna kind of draw attention to, I mean, for me personally, when I saw those railings go up, I thought they looked ornate, and are they getting painted? They're not gonna stay stark white, are they?
They're gonna stay white, and the whole gazebo is going to be white.
Oh, the whole gazebo, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, the whole gazebo
Okay.
is going to be
That's gonna be
painted white.
I don't think we should have three different things, like, I think we should choose a minimum of two, personally. I think having wrought iron, ornate, circular, and then flat in the back is too much, personally.
I agree with Jamie. I personally think they should all be the same style. All the railings on the gazebo should be the same style, personally. We're spending so much money and we're gonna cheap out at this last minute by painting an existing unmatched, very simple railing. Doesn't make sense to me.
I think the idea that Carter was advancing was that if he painted it black and didn't draw attention to it, it would kind of disappear. I think the language that he used was having an ear on the gazebo, or tail on sperm, I think he also said.
Yeah.
But let's not go there.
We just did.
The idea was to paint it black and basically have it disappear. That I think was his
I would
logic.
agree, at night it would disappear,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure about daytime.
Okay, I mean, we can certainly talk about the options if, if the council feels that we want to go with the wrought iron look. It's actually aluminum, powder coated aluminum. Don, do you have a picture of it?
So,
that one?
I don't have the,
Is that up already? I haven't gone, you can't see it from the streets.
I don't think so, no.
yeah, so actually, I do have it. It's $2,400. It would be steel. I think it looks terrible, but if you want to pass that down.
As
Like just
opposed
like this?
to
That's
this
awful.
change work
That's
order,
awful.
which is
But what-
$760.
Do we have a picture of what's going up in the front, the wrought iron, or they're not the real wrought iron, the painted aluminum? Do we have a picture of what that looks like?
I don't have a picture of that, no.
No, I don't have a picture of that. I have a picture of that on my computer.
That's what's in
so-
there.
Okay.
Right, and
then
Jimmy, I
this
don't
is what
think
this is what we're voting
it
on, to
will
keep
be
this.
because of the
I think it'll be
handicap
better
ramp.
than that.
being
I
low
agree.
Mhm.
For people going up, I'm not sure if
And
it's
you-
strong enough. That's why we need this.
You know,
Right,
this here,
Which-
this here.
yeah,
here.
which is fine, I just
I
find
think
it strange that we're having three
Not this
different,
I'm not disagreeing. There are three bad options.
so let's have one of each. They wanna get
They-
that off
this-
for the-
This
Steve,
looked
yeah.
like the least intrusive.
I agree. So when we looked at this and we were actually standing there, because I went out for the site inspection with Nancy, this was the best of the three
We
options,
signed off on this.
without describing other adjectives, and it was the least expensive of the three
The
options.
flat,
The
you
idea
mean,
is
the-
The lower the
Fixing
existing
the
Yeah,
railing.
existing
And then
one.
paint it black so that it disappears.
I mean, that was the least of the
Matching with this.
Yeah, the least obtrusive.
obtrusive, the
Carter thought
least.
aesthetically was the best looking, and he's more of an expert than
Right.
us here.
Oh, yeah.
And quick and easy, it's probably.
I don't know, I don't see how he's much more of an expert than he is. Yeah, we live here, and we saw it. Yeah, it's even up to see it.
We were standing there.
We were standing there,
At the
yes.
risk of saying something obvious, I mean, we could opt for one solution, but it doesn't have to be forever. If we don't like it, and it really pokes everyone in the eye, and there's an uproar, we can change it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is peanuts.
The beauty of this is it is only the railings on the side of the handicap access ramp, so it is easy to excise it at a future date.
Mhm.
And again, this is the least expensive of all the options.
And that's what this resolution is, right?
That's
To
what
do
that-
that.
I mean, I guess that's a zero-sum cost, right? 'Cause that's, it's already there. It's just a matter of paint, sanding and
It's-
painting.
This resolution, $800.
$700.
It's $760 for the labor to cut it down, two guys a half a day, and then paint it.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
What color is the roof gonna be? Is it also
White's white, yeah, like everything white.
Stark white is gonna get a little dirty.
Wait, not the roof, not the roof.
The
Not
roof, the roof inside is already white.
Not the
And
inside.
there's on
I'm
the-
saying
the,
that
what's the outside of the roof?
Shingles, isn't it?
Shingles.
It's shingles, it's shingles, that's not
Is
being
it-
painted white.
Is
no.
it,
That's not?
The shingles on it.
Okay.
The
and I
shingles
forget,
are not being
is it
painted
cedar
white.
shingles, or is it like a,
That's-
tar, asphalt shingles? It's asphalt?
I think they're
I-
asphalt shingles, yeah.
I don't know.
You paint this, if you paint the roof like, you look like it's
I'm-
gonna
I'm-
be. Like in the.
I'm not much on aesthetics,
I know.
but that just does, I mean, that just looks,
I think that looks better than the other stuff.
Yeah, I don't like the new ornate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
That's what it is now.
Alright, and
So
we paid for that already.
Right. I would say try the simple solution and adjust as needed.
It's the first time I saw
If
it.
it's,
My only comment to that, GP, is, we're gonna spend this money and we'll never change it if we don't like it, so, I don't know. It's not the end of it, not the end of the world.
So the
we-
difference, it's 2,200 to do the
To do
match.
a section of this here.
2,200 versus 760.
Yeah.
There is one other option. The other option is to simply leave the railing as it is. So the railing comes up on the ramps, and then the ornate back fence is about 2 to 4 inches different. You just paint it white, and there's no cost for that option.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to see it. I don't know, it's hard for me to picture the
I
difference
think it
in height.
disappears more when it's white than when it's black.
Maybe
because it's
so.
in contrast.
You know, if there is an agreement on the council, and to the point that was made before that we could always change it, let's do the zero cost option, paint it white. Yes, there'll be a 2 to 4 inch difference. where the
Always
two
repaint
railings meet. And we could always repaint it or replace it.
Let me ask you, have you has Carter considered just taking these two off and leaving them off,
I
think
think
you
you
need it
have
for
to
ADA.
have them there,
even though the ramp is so low?
I believe.
I think you do for ADA
Yeah.
compliance.
Yeah, so wheelchair
you need to
doesn't
have
go
them
up.
there.
And people with a walker or cane can hold on to the railing as they go up.
That would be us by the time the meeting.
I'm trying.
My instinct would still be that it should match the ones that they just replaced. It still won't look right.
But if you like, I mean, if it really is a sticking point, this is obviously not a big thing and it's not a structural thing, we can table this and have them address it later, that's all. But if we do opt for having something that's custom and needs to be fabricated, then we have to factor in the lead time, that's all.
And by the way, the cost of making it match the rest is really $3,100, it says here. To change all, including posts, $3,100.
Actually, I like painting it white. You can always repaint it.
All right,
Paint's a wonderful
Yeah,
thing.
this is going like Mr. Blinding's dream house.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so we're tabling this.
So actually, the decision's made, we're just gonna paint it white at no extra cost, because that was the original spec.
Right.
And then we could readdress it aesthetically as we look at the park and rec.
That's
So
not
this
what the
resolution is
change
just carrying
order,
on the vine.
the change order is to paint it black
And
with just
lower
the
it.
rails.
But we're not
Two
doing
posts.
that. I
We're
think
not
we're just,
doing the
we're
whole
simply
thing.
painting it white, which was the original spec for the railing.
Oh, so we're not doing the change
We're not
order.
doing any of
Do
this.
we
So-
we have to vote no for the
So we have
resolution?
to,
Or pull it?
I just-
let's pull it, shall we table it?
You
Can we
can pull
do
it,
that?
table it, whatever you want.
Or
It's already been, there's been.
So we have to vote it down if we don't want it, right?
There's already been a motion and a second?
Yes.
Why don't we just table
Yeah.
it,
So
so
then
we can
just
bring it up
move
later?
to table it and then second
And
that.
move to table it.
Second. All right, roll call.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, 6122 is tabled. Bills list, Resolution 6222, approval of bills is signed and listed on the bill payment list. Can you please read the amount?
$152,865.26.
Any item needs to be pulled for discussion? Okay, motion to approve Resolution 6222.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to public comments, 3 minutes per person for agenda items only. It's policy of the Borough Council that all public comments on an issue shall be limited to 3 minutes per person. There'll be no debating between residents. Comments should be addressed to the mayor and council on agenda items only at the public microphone. Again, if you wish to speak, need your name and address. Okay, seeing none. Closing the public comment section, adjournment. Is there any other further business? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting's adjourned. Next meeting of the Borough Council will be the 29th of March at 7 PM, hopefully here.